I know exactly what you're thinking. You're asking yourself, how did I let the Royal Deadfire Company plant an informant in my crew? My superiors might expect me to report in from time to time, but don't read too much into it. You're not the only big thing happening around here. I'm in this for a lot of information, a little diplomacy, and plenty of target practice. Then I look forward to seeing how long it takes before you find yourself in someone's back pocket. Oh, guess you ought to meet the bird. Ishi is smarter than he looks, but don't expect him to do any tricks. Ishi, come.
That's a good-looking bird. Hey, birdie. Hey, birdie.
Takes practice before he'll listen to you properly, but that's a good start. Did your friend suffer a head wound? Before we get into deeper waters, I've got a question. You've got a ship and a title. Being captain means more than just wearing a big hat. A lot of tough calls to be made. Life at sea. It does have a way of simplifying things down to the bare elements. A crew can be like family. They can also be like a nest of squalling infants. Let's say your galley cook was fixing to organize the rest of the crew into a mutiny. How would you handle it? Sorted out as equals. Interesting. Of course, the only right answer is the one that works in a given time and place. I just wanted to hear yours. Ask me again when I'm wearing the big hat. That'll be a different Maya. But enough about me. Glad to be aboard, Captain. I've got some answers. Sure am. And I heard that you two spent some time together. Funny how the gods toss things together. Kana came back from the Deerwood with a head full of ideas about Rauatai's expansion. Getting out from under the academics suited him. I never knew he could be so political. More than his sister ever could be. You clearly had some sway on his opinions, more than I ever did. Wish you had told Kana to give up on the poetry. He's got no ear for it. If you want to hear a voice like a powder keg belting out Rauataian anthems while you're running at a dragon, be my guest. Some of us find it distracting. I do with bullets what Kana did with words. Just in case you were wondering, the comparison ends there. I won a shooting competition at the Ranganui's estate. This was a few years before enlisting with the Navy. As a reward, he gave me the freedom of the Royal Eyrie and said I could take my pick of the warbirds. Stinkfeathers here kicked a rather pretty hawk off my arm so he could have me all to himself. Been inseparable ever since. Well, my parents came from the Deadfire. I'm getting a taste of my roots. After they emigrated to Rawatai, their talents caught the Ranganui's eye. He saw them as this spectacle, this achievement of the old country, I guess. So they were honored guests. Not many Huana rose to distinction in Takoa. We were also curiosities. Even as we broke the same bread and tossed back the same wine, the Ranganui's friends always checked under the table to see if I had a tail. Kana thought it was hilarious. Maybe if a kid does it once. When grown men and women do it, I have my doubts. Growing up in the Ranganui shadow wasn't all bad. We had tutors and advisors at our disposal, and lots of folk from stranger parts than these. I spent my days learning to shoot, while my more academic siblings learned to express themselves. I leave you to judge who spent their time better. Uh-oh. That's his "I'm hungry and you're wasting my time" face. Better step back, Captain.
Tell me. Here we are again, Watcher. I thought we had seen the last of each other after the Hollowborn crisis. I must admit, accompanying you to Twin Elms worked out well for both of us. Perfetto. You only have to ask. Que? Minea was a good companion and a skilled warrior, but her imagination got the better of her. It appears to have gotten the better of you as well. After we parted ways, I returned to the Republics and reported to the Duke's Bells. The trade agreement we brokered with the Anamenfath was quite lucrative for the Republics. The Deerwood was still recovering from Waidwin's legacy and was in no position to compete. The Duke's Bells was so pleased with my performance that I was made the personal guard of the Duquess Spirento. Spirento is the most beautiful of all the Republics, and though I should not admit this, I cherish the Duquess above all other Duke's Bells. Still, our profit came at the expense of the Deerwood. The fruit of victory was not so sweet knowing that the Deerwood suffered because of my actions. Whatever they are up to cannot be good for any of us. At their best, the gods are powerful children. At worst, they are little more than mad beasts taking out their anger on our world. I have little interest in distinguishing which type Eothas is. Where I am assigned is of no concern to me. but I do think the Deadfire can be profitable for the Republics. If the Dukes need me here, I am glad to serve them. Good. I have no concerns, Watcher.
Well, that's it! For God's sake, I can't take it anymore! Oh, I'm seeing red all right, everywhere! And it ain't a passing vision! Palaджina, we're gonna have words, you and I. And maybe you'll even apologize.
Little woman making a big noise. When someone takes that tone with me, what follows is not conversation. In the Republics, no one would bat an eye if I cut you from gut to gullet and left you holding your innards in a ditch.
You can throw your threats around in an attempt to avoid this, but it won't work. I want the air cleared, at last and for good. The problem is, this featherhead doesn't know when to stop squawking obscenities about the gods, Watcher. I've been turning a deaf ear for too long, disgracing both myself and my god, ignoring the no-good, sour-sounding, moronic blasphemy that spews out of her mouth.
There come Blanca. Another frail faithed priest has come to mumble tearful protestations because I don't see the world with their blind eyes. I'm sure this will be as fresh as a pasture full of cow droppings.
Watcher, how can you even hardly stand it? Such hubris she's got, and in the face of so much evidence, you scarcely need faith. The gods may move in mysterious ways, but I can tell you they've noticed us, and they've noticed her with us. I'm beginning to think she'll sully our souls by association.
I'm working my way down from active disdain to slight regard. I'd prefer to give the lot of them as little of my time as possible.
The more she disparages the gods, the more she tempts ruination on her very soul. I can't just let that happen. Besides, her arrogance irritates me.
Of course you see it as arrogance. You surround yourself with believers. The very idea of disbelief offends you. And little girl, you have no idea what it is like to grow up being godlike. So do not presume to know what it means about my soul or my life.
That's why I asked you what it was like. But instead of ever telling me anything, you just give me insults or a cold shoulder. In this, it's her or me, Watcher. You're not wholly wrong, I reckon.
If after all you've seen, Watcher, you really believe that we're both right, You're an even bigger fool than this one. Anyway, I'm not the one who got upset. I'd just as soon get on with more important things.
Guess that leaves me to apologize. I'm sorry, there I said it. But don't think it'll happen again. Happy to oblige. Yeah? Tell me what's on your mind?
They're there in my head when and sometimes I can taste them on the back of my tongue.
She started it. All right, might be that I did. But that featherhead deserved it.
At least I know I got you in my corner. No one's had my back in a long time, Watcher. I'm so gods darn lucky I met you. Makes me think it was meant to be. That I was meant to help you, just as much as you've helped me. Sure thing, Watcher.
I am ready. Watcher? You only have to ask.
What do you need? Hey, look who it is.